Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to Heart Hustle, our safe space to talk about love, relationships, emotions, and of course, how to navigate all of this in a way that actually makes sense and feels good. And let me ask you something right away. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of an argument wondering if you should keep talking, or if maybe the smartest thing to do would be to simply stay silent? Yeah, knowing when to speak is important. But knowing when not to speak? That's pure wisdom. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Those exact moments when silence is actually the best answer. And I'm not talking about that cold silence that punishes, that ignores, that pushes people away. No, I'm talking about the wise silence. The kind of silence that protects, that prevents things from escalating, that avoids turning a simple disagreement into a full-on battle. So stick with me until the end, because this video might open your eyes to a lot. And of course, if this type of content resonates with you, hit that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Because here, we talk about love, but also about emotional intelligence. And that's priceless in any relationship. Top 5. When the other person is at the peak of their anger. You know that moment when your partner is absolutely consumed by anger? When you can see it, the body language changes, the eyes, the tone of voice. They're taken over by the heat of the moment. Yeah, that is exactly when there is no space for meaningful conversation, for rational thinking. No space for understanding at all. If you try to explain yourself, justify, or even fire back in the same tone, trust me, you're just pouring gasoline on the fire. At that point, it turns into a shouting match, into a hurtful exchange where the goal shifts from understanding to hurting. Because when someone is caught up in rage, they're not really talking to you. They're fighting their own emotions, their own frustrations, their own inner chaos. And this is why choosing silence in that moment is not weakness. It's self-protection. It's protecting yourself and protecting the relationship. It's knowing when to step back, breathe, and wait for the storm to pass. Because only after the anger fades does the space for real, productive conversation return. Top 4. When you realize you just want to be right. This one, oh, it's classic. And honestly, it happens way more often than we like to admit. There comes a moment in many arguments when, if you're honest with yourself, you'll realize you're not really trying to solve anything anymore. You're just trying to win. You're just trying to prove you're right. And let me tell you something. When the goal shifts from solving the problem to simply winning, there's no real dialogue left. Just ego. Just competition. And competition inside a relationship only leads to hurt, to emotional exhaustion, to distance. Sure, maybe you win the argument. But at what cost? You lose peace. You lose the softness. You lose the emotional safety of the relationship. That's why, when you catch yourself focusing more on being right than on understanding, it's time to pause. Time to breathe. Time to stay silent. And ask yourself, where is this taking me? Is this helping us? Is this helping me? Because most of the time, silence isn't losing. It's choosing what actually matters. Top 3. When you're about to say something you know will hurt. Oh, this one is heavy. And it's real. You know those moments when something nasty pops into your head? That one sentence. That one low blow. That sharp comment you know would hit your partner right in their soft spot? Yeah. That's the moment when silence becomes everything. Because let me be honest with you, once words are spoken, you can't take them back. Sure, you can apologize. Sure, you can say, I didn't mean it, or I was angry. But the words went in. They landed. They did the damage. And the worst part? Sometimes we don't say these things to solve anything. We say them just to hurt. Because we want the other person to feel the pain we're feeling. And that never ends well. That's why, When you catch yourself about to say something purely to wound, stop. Be silent. Step away if you have to. Take a deep breath, because in that moment, silence is not just wise, it's necessary. Top 2. When the other person is simply not willing to listen. This one? Oh, it's way too common. There are moments in arguments when it becomes painfully clear. The other person is not listening. They're not open. They're not receptive. They're just waiting for you to finish talking so they can throw back their next line. At that point, words are pointless. You're basically trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in the bottom. You talk and talk and talk, but none of it goes in. None of it lands. None of it changes anything. And what's left after that? Just exhaustion, frustration, feeling drained. So, when you notice the other person isn't really hearing you, stop. Don't push. Don't force it. Don't waste your energy trying to shove your point down someone's throat. Stay silent. Protect your peace. Create space. Because sometimes, it's that very silence that speaks the loudest. Sometimes, that's what makes the other person realize they're being closed off, that they're not truly engaging. And then, maybe they come back when they're actually ready to listen. Top 1. When you are not okay. And honestly, this one, for me, is the most important of all. Because sometimes, the one who's not ready for the conversation is you. And you know what? That's completely okay. There are days when you are simply too overwhelmed, too sad, too anxious, too exhausted, too fragile. And in that state, trying to have a serious, emotional, or heavy conversation is a recipe for disaster. You can't listen properly. You can't express yourself clearly. Everything comes out sideways, heavy, reactive. Suddenly, the smallest thing feels massive. Everything triggers you. Everything feels like an attack. And that's where silence becomes self-care. Silence becomes self-respect. Silence becomes protection for you and for the relationship. It's having the courage to say, right now, I'm not in a place where I can have this conversation. I need to take a breath. I need to calm down. And then, we'll talk. That's not running away. That's not shutting down. That's being responsible. That's emotional maturity. Because if you can't build right now, at least make sure you're not tearing anything down. You know, in the end, choosing silence at the right time isn't weakness. It's strength. It's love. It's care. Care for yourself. Care for the other person. Care for the relationship. If this video made sense to you, leave me a comment below saying, I choose the silence that protects, not the silence that hurts. I really want to know if this resonated with you, if it helped you reflect, or maybe even helped you understand some moments from your own life. And of course, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications so you don't miss anything new, and share this video with someone you love. Here on Heart Hustle, we talk about love. But most of all, we talk about how to love yourself, how to respect yourself, so you can build relationships that are healthy, meaningful, and truly worth it. I'll see you in the next video.